It's another beautiful day, and it's so exciting to be with you on Global Morning today. We are reaching you live and direct from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Once again, I want to say you are on the right track for today. There's no better way to get your day started than being part of Global Morning. On Global Morning today, we'll bring you different segments and, of course, two discussions coming your way this morning. And, of course, this is Thursday. I'm not here alone because I never walk alone. I have my co-host right here this morning, as it has been all through this week. Jumai Mansin, it's good to have you on Global Morning today.
It's great to be here on Global Morning doing this side-by-side with my amazing co-host, Ramsey Enoch Agbo. And of course, I am Jumai Mansin.
The way you sounded the Enoch, I remember when they were teaching us phonetics. Enoch.
Yes.
So I said,
You're making me laugh. This is a serious program. What is wrong with you?
No. One thing is, there's something wrong with laughter. People don't know.
Yes.
If you start your day, by the time you frown, your nerves, about 1,000 plus nerves.
Really?
All right, is being stressed. But anytime you smile, oh my God.
Yeah, yes. Laughter is a medicine, they say.
Yeah, it's a medicine. It's a tonic.
It's a tonic
of the soul.
Tonic of the soul. And that is why positivity for me is key. You must be happy. And once
all the time,
you must make yourself happy. It's something that you don't need to buy in the market. You can actually make yourself happy. It's free. And people will say, oh, Jumai, what's there to be happy about? Being alive is enough for you to be happy. For the fact that you can get up from your bed by yourself, wear your clothes, take your bath, dress up and come out is enough for you to be happy and be thankful. So once you're thankful, it comes with gratitude. So it's very important.
All right, everyone. It's a beautiful day, and
yes,
of course, so many
is.
things happening. I think you might just give us a tip now. If you wake up every day, the first thing you should do is look for anything, everywhere, anyhow, that will make you happy, and start your day. Start your day on that beautiful note. By the time you finish your prayers, don't allow the economy weigh you down.
Please.
Because as it is, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but the promise is going to get better.
Yes.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't even know the part of the tunnel where we are right now. All right, whether at the top or at the middle, or we are somehow close to the bottom. I don't know yet.
I'm laughing because Ogo said this thing. Ogo is a very funny girl. She's very funny. She said, J-Man, I think, do we need a torchlight at the end of the tunnel so we can see? Or I said, no, there's always a light. Know that there is always a way right there in that tunnel. So let's be hopeful. Let's be thankful. Everything is going to be.
Why would she be asking that kind of question when she has already been told that there is a light? Light at the end of the tunnel. You want to carry extra light? You want to carry extra light? Well, it's a beautiful day, Nigerians. Because this is one of the best way to get your day started. What do you have to do this morning? Ensure you do exercise every day. It doesn't require you just running on the street.
Exactly.
And that's not what I mean. You can do it in your room as you wake up in the morning. It helps you stay fit for the day, and you will be at alert all through the day if you start your day on that beautiful note. Let's take a walk now to Kano State, where the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alauza, has commissioned an upgraded digital e-library at the Federal College of Kano. That is Federal Government College in Kano. And he said it's part of the effort to strengthen digital learning across the country. I think this is going to be replicated in other states that don't have yet. And it's a good move in the right direction because I sometimes sit down and I try to analyze where Nigeria is in this digital world, in this ICT world. There are Nigerians doing amazingly well, but outside the country, Probably because there is no enabling environment. This thing that we're talking about, you're talking about e-library now. It's not just providing the e-library. What is the strength of the internet facility? Are you using fiber? Is it going to be stable? Is it going to be 48 hours? Is it going to be every time? Anytime you get to the library, you should be able to access resources, materials for whatever it is you are needing. I think it's a good one, and I'm so excited that this is starting from the north. Kano is one of the places that I love so much in the north. Don't ask me why. But
No, you stayed in Kano. I know, we know the history. We know that you've stayed in Kano, you lived in Kano, you grew up in Kano, you love Kano. So what's new?
Well, I'm a Nigerian, so I love every part
it's
of the world.
beautiful,
But I'm excited that this is happening in Kano.
Yes.
And there was a time that some persons were saying, no, don't get these people educated. And some persons said, allegedly, that some politicians want to use, especially the boys,
yes,
right,
as a leverage.
And of course, now this is happening.
Yes.
This will encourage study, learning
yes, in
Kano State.
Yes.
And I was so excited when I saw the response of the government. The federal government is bringing e-library, then the Kano State government is employing teachers.
Fantastic.
All right,
and pensionable. There are some that are going to be pensionable at the same time.
That's the exciting aspect of it.
That is it.
Because before now, they will tell you teachers' reward is in heaven. And when you talk about teaching, a lot of people run away. And that's the reason today you see a lot of people giving more attention to the lesson. They work from house to house to do extra moral lesson for the kids. And some say, no, instead of me going to school, let me engage directly, privately with parents and do that. But with this happening in Kano, it's an encouragement to teachers and, of course, the students alike. So I'm going to see, I'm foreseeing some form of cooperation in Kano State, and in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I think Kano should be one of the states that should have the most educated northerners if there is continuity. Not that another administration will come and they will allow the e-library to be taken over by cobwebs. So this is very important. I want to say a very big thank you to the federal government, the Minister of Education, Ralph Alausa, and of course the government of Kano State.
Kudos to the Minister of Education, Maruf Tunji Alausa. He's doing a fantastic job when it comes to this, especially the e-library, because of course we know the world is evolving. So let's go with the flow. And of course, we know northern states like Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, when it comes to education, they're nowhere near individuals in the south, the western, the northwest.
That's why you see that cut-off mark.
Catchment area is very, it is,
the
because
cut-off mark for
it's very low. Just to encourage individuals from that region to be educated, come on, and this is a step in the right direction. It will down down when it comes to criminality, encouraging the children, youths, to read, to go to school and be part and parcel with the flow that moves. It's very encouraging at the same time, and like you mentioned, data is another issue. So they have to work towards that. It's not all about having an e-library, but is it functionable? Is it going to function? Is it going to stand the test of time? It's very important. For as much as I am happy, because it's an exciting news for me to get professional and pension teachers. It goes a long way, saying even after retirement, they have something to fall back on. Their reward is not just in heaven. Teachers, we love you, but it's earth too. We know heaven is the ultimate, but at the same time, it's a step in the right direction, and it's a good thing in the city of Kano State, or the state of Kano.
When you say teachers, we love you, my mind went to back in the days while we're still in school, in the debating society where I was functioning, and of course, when it comes to debate, everyone will say, okay, Ramsey, and
you look the part.
most times we teachers, doctors, lawyers, then you start debating.
Doctors are better than teachers.
Oh my God, the kind of excitement that I see in the faces of teachers when we are winning, because some people, they feel that's a difficult aspect of it when it comes to debate because of the reality of things.
Yeah, and that's true.
We were able to get all of that. So once again, let me re-echo what you just said. Teachers all over the world,
we
love you.
Yes,
so
we do.
keep it up. Can we take a walk a little bit to Niger State?
Yes, let's do that.
The governor of Niger State, I think was it the day before yesterday or so, there was a meeting, there was an attack or a communal clash or something, and he had to summon the heads and all of that, traditional leaders. And of course, this morning I was seeing it on Twitter that he's asking, all right, he's dethroning all the Fulani leaders. And he was saying something like, well, that's him. I'm just quoting him. I'm just quoting what he said. It's not me. That most of the people that were being kidnapped or abducted, they come back to say, well, these are the people responsible. Then after the crisis, I don't know the kind of meeting they have. And he is saying, well, every one of them should be dropped. And the reason why I'm trying to talk about this is to say, well, this is the time for us to know the disparity between who are the true Nigerians and who are not Nigerians. Because I was asking a question few months ago. I was talking to someone. I said, if you are from Jigawa State, for instance, you wouldn't be destroying, the social amenities that you have because that's your state. And you know how long it took for you to have these amenities. When you hear, well, they are destroying this, they are destroying that, they are kidnapping people, asking for ransom. I will also think, well, if you're speaking the same language with me, there is this feeling, when you travel abroad or you travel out of your state and you see someone speaking your language, you feel at home. Oh, brother, so you know that relationship, that excitement. And so I feel, well, if we are all Nigerians, there is no need inflicting this harm
or pain.
It's much. So I was like, all right. If the governor of Niger State is doing this, then we should all take cue, all right, from what he's doing, because this is the best way to unite Nigerians. I know the leaders will go talk to their people, all right, if it is true that they are the ones responsible. The traditional heads, the leaders, will go talk to their people, because there is no way you can say, well, there is not somebody that knows somebody. There must be somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And that's the best way to do investigations, you see. So I think it will be the right move in the right direction, so that all of us, there shouldn't be these differences of, I'm from this state, he's from this state. We are all Nigerians.
Yes, we are. Just to add, before we go quickly calling for the next segment, I think when it comes to human life, there should be no sentiments whatsoever. It doesn't matter whether you're from my place or you're a ruler in that particular community. Once your hand has been stained with blood, or you have something to do with the kidnappings and your unrest in that particular state, I think you should be relieved of your Title 1 and handed over to the authorities too. I think there shouldn't be any negotiations. If individuals who have been kidnapped come out to say this person is part of the people that are causing mayhem in that, the necessary action should be taken. That is why kudos to the Niger State governor, yes, of course.
And where he's starting from is good. The leaders.
No, it's very important. It needs to see all of that.
Message that sent. That means every leader, every traditional leader in Benue, in Plateau, in Enugu, in Port Harcourt, everyone have a role to play.
Of course.
Everyone have a role to play.
Of course.
So
security is everybody's business.
You start from the head down.
Yes, it does.
Right?
And please go ahead.
Because it will go a long way, all right, sanitizing the society.
Very important.
If the society is clean, there is good sensitization from the leaders. Because I don't want to say, maybe some persons are benefiting from what's happening.
No, maybe they are.
Okay, as it has to do with the issue of mining, there's mining going on in your community.
Of course, it's
the people
money
come to
involved.
mine are distracting people with terrorism and all of that.
Exactly.
So they could do that, and you're partaking in that as a leader. It's not the right thing to do. So we should also look at our leaders, in as much as we say, if you see something, say something.
Yes.
So the leaders know more, all right, than the ordinary community member walking on the street.
Very important. You've just said it all. You've hit the nail on the head. I think everyone should be involved. Security is everyone's business. Everyone's hands should be on deck in order to curb this menace of evil in our society. And this is a step in the right direction, starting with the leaders, and then it comes down. So everyone can actually take cue and know that there are some things that you just don't do. If you're for us, be for us. If you're against us, stay on your lane and let the authorities take its course on you. All right. Without much further ado, at about this point, we're going to tilt over to the taste and texture segment where we learn breakfast ideas. Don't ask me what we have. You have to sit back, relax, because up next is taste and texture. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, this is to specially welcome you to this episode of Taste and Texture, and I assure you it will be as engaging as it will be eye-opening. On the show, we're going to prepare a tasty delicacy, and we will be preparing it from scratch. In today's episode of the program, we'll be preparing French toast, which is always a delicious and simple breakfast option. Also, this breakfast French toast can be made very quickly by anyone. In addition to the speed and ease of making it, it is also fun to make. Ingredients: sliced bread, eggs, milk, salt, cinnamon, vanilla extract. Step 1. Break 2 eggs into a bowl and add a half cup of milk. Add a pinch of salt and a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Add a tablespoon of vanilla extract to add flavor and mix all together. Step 2. Get your sliced bread and dip it into the batter on both sides. Step 3. Lightly butter your pan and heat up. Step 4. Arrange the coated bread in the pan and fry it till golden brown. Turn to the other side to cook also. Serve your French toast with fresh berries and powdered sugar, or you can just enjoy it with syrup. There you have it, your breakfast French toast is ready. Enjoy! That's it on today's episode of the program Taste and Texture. Hope you will try this recipe in your various homes and hope you enjoyed the program. Join me same time next week for another episode of the program. It has been Saadatu Garba. Thank you for watching this installment of the program. Please join me next time for something fresh and inspiring.
All right, you're welcome back from that very delicious, mouth-watery, tasty, yummylicious segment of Taste and Texture. Hope you're going to try out that delicious recipe. And now, at about this time, let's get inspired with heart-to-heart inspirational with my own co-host, Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another moment of heart-to-heart inspirational. Let's talk heart-to-heart a little bit because a lot of people have not been able to bounce back after the last time they failed. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Welcome to Heart-to-Heart Inspirationals. Failure is a feedback and not a funeral. I want to say that again because of people who failed. Some people fell and they remain on the ground. They never got up again because of what they feel people around them are going to say. But then failure is a feedback. And that's why some people will tell you all the time that whatever happens, all right, there is a lecture from every lesson. Whatever happens to you in life, there is something that you are meant to learn from it, either positively or negative thing that you need to take cognizance of and be watchful as you move on the journey of life. So I just want to tell you today that failure is a feedback and not a funeral. What kind of feedback did you get from that last failure? Have you even tried anything at all? Have you experienced failure before? If you've not experienced failure before, it means you need to try harder. Because on this journey of destiny, people who are successful today are people who have failed a number of times and they got up on their feet, learned from their mistake, and their mistake became a stepping stone for them. And of course, they are where they are today. Why? Because they never allow that failure to become a funeral to their dream. What am I emphasizing? As a matter of fact, let's normalize something today, all right? Let's normalize something today. A failure, you've heard about it all the time. Okay, this person is a failure, that person is a failure. People assess their counterparts, their neighbors, their brothers, their colleagues differently with different perspectives. Some persons already have been tagged as failure, and that has been affecting a lot of people. But then, have you accepted that you are a failure? That somebody told you are a failure does not make you a failure until you accept that you are a failure. All right, not because it feels good, yeah, but because it is necessary. Sometimes, it's risk. It's risk. If you have taken a risk before, and of course, it didn't go well the way you think it was going to go, and you failed, it doesn't mean that is a funeral. It doesn't mean you shouldn't try it again. I was speaking with someone a few days ago, yeah, and we're talking about a particular business, and the young man told me, now I am successful, but then during my wilderness experience, when I was in the workshop, nobody knew anything about me. When I was failing over and over and over again, I lost money several times. I had to stay indoors and think of the next thing to do. He failed severally until he said, no, I am not going to allow this failure become a funeral. My dream is not going to be cut short by this failure. And he stood on his ground. Consistency. I must always emphasize consistency anytime I come up to speak to anyone on heart to heart, because it is very important. If you want to succeed in life, then consistency and discipline is very important. But the bottom line is this: nobody ever succeeds without first stumbling. Yes. You stumble, then you stand again. Even every little child, before a child starts walking, you stand them up, you see them, they walk a little bit, they fall. They walk a little bit, they fall until their leg gets stabled on the ground. All right? And you see them walking firmly. Then before you know it, they start running. The same thing is applicable to life. So failure, as a matter of fact, is not proof that you can't. All right, it's not a proof that you can't do it. It's proof that you tried. It's a proof that you tried. When you fail, it means you tried and you failed. It doesn't mean that's the end. It reveals what doesn't work and refine what eventually would work later. That's what failure does. Anytime you fail, you know that, yes, this one does not work. Let me try the other one. It gives you a focus. It makes you know that, yes, if I go this way, I'm going to fail again. So I need to do something else. It's only a fool that do the same thing the same way and expect a different result. If you are doing one thing the same way all the time, you get the same result. You need to apply technicality, strategy, discipline, excellence every time. Whatever you do, let that touch of excellence be in your head. All right? So that when you fail in one thing, you try doing it the other way. But then don't allow that first, second, third, fourth failure be your funeral. Let your dream and your vision and your talent not be buried because you failed. Because that failure is trying to refine you. It's trying to build something in you. What do you have to do? I want you to know that failure, what it does is that it reveals what doesn't work and refines what eventually will work. But you need to have this mentality. Every setback is information. If you are willing to learn, yes, that's what it means. Every setback that you've had in the past is an information. Because there is something you need to learn from every setback, from every failure. Everyone throwing stones at you right now is because they know you are going somewhere. Let me tell you the truth. We have a lot of friendly enemies these days. Some people are smiling with you, but then they are not interested in your success. What they say behind you, if you hear it, hey, but then that shouldn't deter you. That shouldn't deter you because you have a destination. So every setback is information if you are willing to learn, because most people don't fail because they are incapable. That you failed, it's not because you are incapable, but because you are going somewhere, because you are dogged, because you are rugged, because you are determined, because you are focused, because you have a dream, you have a vision, something you are pursuing and something you want to get. You have a target. So when people like that fail, they fail because they don't stop. But if you stop anytime soon, it means that failure has gotten to you. Let me give you an illustration, for instance. A GPS recalculates when you miss a turn. It doesn't shut down. All right? Failure, in other words, simply means it's time to adjust. Anytime you fail, the message is, no, I need to adjust. This principle, this procedure, this formula is not working. I need to adjust. There is something I need to do so that I don't fail again. That's what it means. Anytime you fail, there is a message. It is telling you it is time to adjust the procedure. It is time to re-strategize. That's what it means. All right, so you don't need to abandon your journey because you failed. There is a practical mindset shift that you need to have, and this is it. Number one, stop attaching shame to failure. Yes, stop attaching shame to failure. Some people, when they feel shy. Oh no, I'm not going to get on that stage again. They will laugh at me. No, I'm not going to do that business again. People will laugh at me. People will mock me. The same people will celebrate and want to identify with you if you are a success. So there should be a mindset and a mind shift for you. Extra lessons instead of self-criticism. Stop criticizing yourself because you failed. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people with other people because you failed. That you failed. Failure is not a funeral. Stop burying yourself in shame and criticism. Try again. Make it better. Make it wiser. Make it stronger. That's what it means. All right? Failure is tuition paid for future success. That is a quote that I'm bringing to you now. Failure, I said, is what? Is tuition paid for future success. But if you don't pay, if you go to school now, all right, 100 level, you need to pay a tuition in 100 level. You get to 200, you pay another tuition before you can get to 300 level. In every of this level, there are tuitions to pay. If you want to change levels in life, don't be scared of failure. If you are scared of failure, you will never try anything good. So what do you have to do? Keep pushing. Don't bury your dream because of one mistake that you made. I'll keep saying this. Learn, rise, and move forward. Don't worry about what people are saying. Don't worry about the situation around you. Don't think, oh, I have failed, I don't need to try it again. Keep trying. Change the strategy. Become wiser. Failure make you wiser. Because you walk through this way and you fail, you apply this strategy, this technique, this principle, this formula, and you failed. You will now need to re-strategize. Use another formula. All right? Until you get to your success. Until you get to what you want to achieve in life. All right? So you need to know that anytime you fail, it's a signal that you need to turn. You need to do something again. You need to re-strategize. You need to improvise. Come up with something new. As a matter of fact, failure is not the best option for you. So what do you have to do? Try as much as possible, right, to be sincere in everything that you do. Because if you want to please people, it will be disastrous. You don't need to please anyone, all right? You don't need to please anyone. It is when you're thinking about pleasing people that when you stumble, you say, oh, I've disappointed this person. I've disappointed even people who really love you, who want you to be successful. By the time you fail, instead of them condemning you, they will come and encourage you to do better. And that's the reason you need mentors. That's the reason you need people to talk to per time. All right? You need to talk to people. See, if you are embarking on a project, I emphasize mentorship all the time. I was speaking with a friend a few days ago and I told the person, if I want to do this thing you're doing now, it is going to be express for me. It's going to be easier. I may have hitches. There might be some times where you have losses or maybe failure at some point, but then you have people to ask questions. I have someone to ask questions. Hey, I got hooked here. What do I do? Even the disaster is not going to be as disastrous as it would have been if you never have anyone to guide you on this journey of destiny. You really need people, okay? Because as your association determine your acceleration in life, okay? And your friends, you need to be careful with the kind of friends you have. If you have a bad friend, it is disaster. If you have a good friend, it means you have a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to stand on and be tall so that you can get to that success that you are running after, that you are pursuing. Yes, congratulations, everyone. You are a success going somewhere to happen. Don't allow anything stop you on the way. Not failure, not criticism. Don't bury yourself because you failed. Failure is not funeral. Bye-bye for now and have a beautiful day.
Tired of the snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has gone digital. Introducing Free TV, the national platform for every Nigerian. Get 100 plus channels immediately. Sports, news, and entertainment in your native language. All with clear picture quality. Whether you're in the city or the village, our satellite signal reaches every corner of 36 states from day one. No monthly subscription, just a compatible decoder and you are set. It's a national asset built for you. Take the show on the road, download the Free TV app and stream your favorite channels anywhere. Starting this May, scan to download the app or call 0700 388 7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
All right, you're welcome back. Hope you were well inspired with the heart-to-heart inspirational with my amazing co-host Ramsey Enokagbo. Just be inspired today and remain positive. At about this point, it's the newspaper review segment, and we're going to start with the first paper of the day, and it's the Nigerian Tribune. And above the nameplate of the Nigerian Tribune, it says here, Olakbega emerges UT's new vice chancellor to resume November 1st, and that's on page 2. Next, on page 7 says Zenith Bank named Africa's best bank, Nigeria's best bank at 2026 Economy Awards for excellence. And on page 2 it says Trump louds Tinubu over fight against terror, protection of Christians. And the star story on the Nigerian Tribune says APC Atiku trade words over 12.8 trillion naira service-wide vote. And we have some riders there, two riders. It says ADC presidential candidate lacks basics understanding of public finance, and that's from APC. And the next rider says, you fail to address central issue of how SWV ballooned by over 1,918% in 2 years, and that's from Atiku. And on page 4, it says illegal mining. Senate proposes bill on tighter regulations, penalties. And on page 3, it says Oyo government, EFCC battle in court over state finances. And on page 3, it says PFIPC rep to quiz NSA, IGP, finance minister, accountants general, others today. Now that's a big one, will I say. And then on page 25, he said Fubara declares support for Rivers Rainbow Coalition backs Tinubu Chinda. And on page 16, it says Tinubu asks for Larin to unite Funding and Oyo APC chieftains, and there are two riders there. It says as anti-RI aspirants split, President expects resolution of crisis in 2 weeks. And on page 6, it says Dangote refinery hikes petrol price to 1,215, resumes granting loading in Naira. And of course, the health segment says 5 cups of coffee daily safe for heart. American Heart Association. Okay, what are we going to believe? This health segment. All right, that's all on the Nigerian Tribune. Go out to get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the major issues making rounds. Next, we have the First Daily. Over to you, Ramsey.
All right, let's quickly look at the First Daily for you this morning. Just beside the nameplate, it says Trump backs Tinubu's anti-terror war, pledges stronger U.S. security support. VDM joins police raid on alleged Abuja baby factory. Army, Boko Haram mourns cameraman killed in failed attack. A fresh Benue attack displaces communities. Teenager killed. Murik seeks death penalty for convicted terrorists. A Senate opens revenue probe. That's the star story on the First Daily this morning. And the main story says a CBN NNPCL 40 MDA summoned over remittances. Then two riders to that story. And the first rider says lawmakers intensify scrutiny of government revenue. Key agencies to account for public funds. UN, that's the kicker. 191 million Nigerians could not afford healthy diet in 2025. Fubara backs Wike's coalition, endorses Tinubu Chinda. I saw this story yesterday and I was like, wow. So what stopped him all the while? Because the way it is right now, after 2027, I don't know what's going to become of the political ambition or the political career of Fubara, Governor Fubara. But then I think it's just to allow peace reign. He said, well, the crisis is over as at yesterday, and we are seeing him pledging his support for Governor President Tinubu and Wike's coalition. First, Holdco shares surge towards 5 trillion naira valuation. And of course, those are the headlines for you this morning on the First Daily. From the First Daily, let's take a walk to the next newspaper, which is the Daily Sun.
All right, now the Daily Sun newspaper, and it says here beside the nameplate on page 29, it says 2027 Southeast governors solidly support Tinubu's re-election, and that's from the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma. And it says here payroll fraud, police top list as ICPC uncovers 908 fake workers across MDAs, and that's a continuation of page 6. And the star story on the Daily Sun says presidency, Atiku fight. Now they have 2 riders, ex-VPs, Sordid pass hunting him, apologize, resign over PFIPC scandal, Atiku tells Tinubu. And now we have some, okay, on page 26, it says here, Senator moves to compel CBN, NNPCT, 39 others to account for remittances. And the writer says, accuses several agencies of frustrating legislative oversight. And on page 6, it says, Fubara backs Chinda as successful, supports Wike. And it says, I'm back with our family. And on page 26, it says controversy over reps allocation of 780 million naira for evangelical instruments. And on page 25, it says Zenith Bank named Nigeria's Africa Best Bank of 2026 Euro Money Awards. And basically, that is, those are all the major headlines. And this one that says Fubara backs Chinda successor supports Wike. He says he's back with his family. That means everything is good in Rivers.
Yeah, everything is good according to him, and I think this is politics. It's either you fight to win or you fight to lose. But then in politics, some persons will tell you there is no complete loser, because at the end of the day, you see them rallying around themselves. I think that's exactly what's happening in Rivers State. Let's see how all of that is going to end. It's all about 2027.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's bring you the next newspaper, which is
The Punch.
The Punch newspaper. All right, these are the headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning. Above the nameplate, let me go foreign. Trump hails Tinubu over anti-terror war. Trump hails Tinubu over anti-terror war. Please stop. List of ICPC uncovers 908 ghost workers. Of course, this one says, all right, this more like an advert. This one says, delay justice. Crowded cells, over 80,000 rot in Nigerian prison. Okay, this is not a good one. The federal government needs to look into that. Now to the star story on the Punch newspaper. A fake agency probe. ICPC team grills embattled DG inside police detention. Adeyemi quiz for hours. Interrogation continues today. Quiz for hours. All right. I want to believe it's not some form of torture. Because some persons will tell you, I didn't do it because I was being tortured. I had to say I did it so I could be free. I don't know. The quiz, it could be questions, all right, and answer, because it is an interrogation and it's not a small case. So I don't think it's what some Nigerians may be thinking. Another writer here says reps to question Akume, Ribadu, Fagbemi, Disu, Accountant General today. At the end of the day, we'll see who is going down for all of this. Controversial DG gets new lawyer. Atiku tackles Tinubu over phantom agency controversy. And just to the footer of the Punch newspaper, Dangote resumes Naira petrol sales, hikes price by 140 Naira. Hey, Mobile Nigerians. Ogo, I don't know, but then Nigerians are lamenting the price of fuel right now. And Dangote said, if I must do Naira, then there is going to be a hike of about 140 Naira additional towards the price of petroleum is right now. I don't know if the price of petrol is going to get towards the price of gas is right now in Nigeria, but it's not going to be funny. I just have to be frank. I just have to be sincere with myself. That's not going to be funny all the way. All right, let's see. There might be intervention from the marketers of the federal government. This one say, crack down on cultists. Please arrest 3 seize firearms in Lagos. And of course, Ondo Speaker gets Sunday deadline to resign or face impeachment. Okay, what's the reason? Why is he to resign or face impeachment? You can actually pick a copy of the Punch newspaper and get the details for yourself. That detail reads on page 14. And those are the headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning as we move to The Nation.
All right, now let's quickly move to the Nation newspaper. Thank you, Ramsey, for that read. And then it says here on the Nation newspaper, above the nameplate, it says Euro economy affirms Zenith as Africa's Nigeria's best bank. We've said that in over all the papers. And it says Osun 2026. And the rider reads here, Oyebamiji is to voters, don't be deterred by violence rumors. And it says, gave APC candidate a chance because of his politics, and accord stakeholders threaten withdrawal of support for Adeleke. And it says CBN banks must now support productive sector. And the star story on the Nation says Tinubu's decisive blows on terrorists excite Trump. And the rider there says U.S. President pledges more support in letter to Nigerian leader. And below that on page 26 says 2 million naira loan offer opens for young entrepreneur. And that's on page 26. And that's a good start in the right direction. And on page 7 it says here Otedola Titans holds on first holds co with 59 billion naira shares acquisition. And it says 5 Southeast governors back Tinubu re-election. And it says here Fubara gives nod to Chinda, other Rainbow Coalition candidates in Rivers. That's on page 3. And next is the Vanguard. Over to you, Ramsey.
All right, let's quickly look at the Vanguard newspaper for you this morning. All right. From the Vanguard newspaper, the big story there, I think there is some form of, is it part of, should I say, the collaboration going on between the Nigerian government and, of course, the United States. The big story says Christian persecution, that's the kicker. It says Trump vows to stand with Nigeria in anti-terror war. You know, the last paper, he said he's given President Bola Ahmed Tinubu thumbs up for the fight against terrorism. And here he says he's going to stand with the government. But then I'm just interested in the anti-terror war, not just particular about Christians alone, because we saw what happened in Niger. Everyone, lives have been taken across religion. All right, applauds president's resolve to tackle nation's challenges. Then this writer says U.S. pledges to nullify jihad. All right, jihadist threat in Nigeria, Somalia, Syria, and others. OPHK drone strike killed over 20 ISWAP fighters. Chief photographer destroyed logistic hub in southern Lake Chad. PFIPC scandal. Apologize, resign now. Atiku battles Tinubu. All right, one writer to that story, and the writer says APC replies Atiku says service-wide vote, not slush fund. Rivers 2027, Fubara declares membership of Wike's Rainbow Coalition. Details on page 12. I'm not a criminal. My life in danger. Achimugu is the one saying that. That's the lady that have gold exotic cars worth some very huge amount of money, saying that Igbo governors to fully support Tinubu in 2027, says Udo. Uzodinma. All right, those are the headlines for you this morning on, of course, the Vanguard newspaper, and of course, this is the size of the newspaper review for you this morning. We would like to inform you that Global Television does not have an editorial contribution to any of these headlines. It's entirely that of the newspaper houses. Let's take a quick break. After this break, the conversation continues.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Usoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust a multi-platform news broadcast, real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
At Erojim Shoe Factory, excellence starts from the ground up. Located at number 1 Pound Road behind Nigeria Correctional Service, Aba, Abia State. We produce 1,500 high-quality shoes every single day. Paramilitary shoes, safety boots, desert boots, ankle shoes, back-to-school footwear. All crafted with state-of-the-art equipment and built for strength, comfort, and durability. For reliable footwear that stands the test of time. Choose Aerogym shoes for better product, strong steps, smart style. For inquiries, call 091-264-53399 or 070-3009-3944 or 080-6573-8374 or call 081-3167-3668. Email info@aerogym.com. Website www.aerogymdesign.com. Aerogym. Walk with confidence. Walk with pride.
Imagine having the power of television, movies, news, and entertainment right in your pocket. Welcome to Free TV App, Nigeria's all-in-one digital TV experience. With Free TV App, you get access to over 100 live TV channels, breaking news, sports, movies, kids shows, and more. All from a single mobile app. No decoder stress, no complicated setup, just download, open, and start watching. Free TV is television reimagined for the digital age. To get started, simply search Free TV on the Google Play Store or Free TV NG on the Apple App Store, or scan the QR code on your screen. Once installed, register in seconds using your phone number, email, WhatsApp, Google ID, or Apple ID. Secure OTP verification ensures safe and seamless access. Inside the app, explore content directly from the home screen or navigate easily using the various tabs. The Live TV section gives you access to over 100 licensed channels, complete with an electronic program guide, EPG, pause, rewind, and catch-up features. The Video On Demand library offers up to 500 hours of curated content, including Nollywood movies, drama series, documentaries, kids and educational programs. You can resume playback, save favorites, and download content to watch offline. The News tab delivers real-time updates across breaking news, sports, entertainment, technology, and pop culture, all in one place. Free TV is more than an app. It's a digital revolution in broadcasting. Download the Free TV app today.
Tired of the snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has gone digital. Introducing Free TV, the national platform for every Nigerian. Get 100 plus channels immediately. Sports, news, and entertainment in your native language. All with clear picture quality. Whether you're in the city or the village, our satellite signal reaches every corner of 36 states from day one. No monthly subscription, just a compatible decoder and you are set. It's a national asset built for you. Take the show on the road, download the Free TV app and stream your favorite channels anywhere. Starting this May, scan to download the app or call 0700 388 7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
At Witchtech Cables, we don't just make cables, we deliver excellence. Our products are built with advanced technology, trusted for their unmatched quality and durability. With a wide range of cables, swift delivery, and continuous innovation, we stay ahead of the market demand. We are proudly Nigerian, fully indigenous, yet world-class. Backed by a professional team, strong technical support, and a deep commitment to customer satisfaction. Witchtech Cables is more than a brand, it's a promise. Witchtech Cables, quality cables better than the best.
At Aerogym Shoe Factory, excellence starts from the ground up. Located at number 1 Pound Road behind Nigeria Correctional Service, Abba State. We produce 1,500 high-quality shoes every single day. Paramilitary shoes, safety boots, desert boots, ankle shoes, back to school footwear, all crafted with state-of-the-art equipment and built for strength, comfort, and durability. For reliable footwear that stands the test of time, choose Aerogym shoes for better product, strong steps, smart style. For inquiries, call 091-264-53399 or 070-3009-3944 or 080-6573-8374 or call 081-3167-3668. Email info@aerogym.com. Website www.aerogymdesign.com. Aerogym. Walk with confidence. Walk with pride.
As a matter of fact, different economists, political analysts, public affairs commentators have different perspective when it comes to the economy of the nation, especially countries such as Nigeria. You know, there is something that a lot of people do, either deliberately or maybe unintentionally. As it is right now, people will tell you the economy of this nation, where are we? Some people will assess the economy based on their current situation. And what a lot of Nigerians know right now about the economy is that, well, the economy is biting and that, well, they can't afford their daily necessities, especially when it comes to food. You go to the market with so much money, but you return with something very small in a cellophane bag. And, you know, some people will tell you this economy is not favorable to Nigerians. I had a guest yesterday who was saying the growth of the economy of a nation does not just depend on how the GDP is doing, but as a matter of fact, how are we doing? How is the inflation? Because when the demand is high, when demand is high, there tends to be problem. Some persons are saying, the problem we have in this country is not all about, of course, the government alone. The individuals also play a role in the economic development, national development of the country. Let's look at the state of Nigeria's economy and, of course, do an assessment of the growth and, should I say, other things that surround the results that has been gotten from the economy, our policies, are they really biting or they are favorable to Nigerians? But when it comes to politics and, of course, governance, a lot of people will tell you we have in Nigeria more politicking than governance, and that in a way affects the economy. Let me tell you why. Take, for instance, the number of people that are self-employed. They pay taxes, they contribute to the economic growth of their community, the market where they are, and that translates to boosting the economy of the nation, because the money we're talking about, the cash is in circulation in the country here. But then there are questions that a lot of Nigerians ask. Questions like, how is the environment? Is the environment enabling enough? All right, these are questions that people ask. People want to do business. Nigerians, I can even say Nigerians are very enterprising when it comes to business, when it comes to entrepreneurship. It was during COVID, all right, that we discover a lot of potentials in Nigeria. At that point in time, a lot of people begin to do remote jobs. We'll begin to see the importance. If not, before now, people were reluctant when it comes to Google Meet, Zoom meetings, and all of that. The usage of Zoom, teaching, making impact via Zoom, transactions internationally. You talk about e-transactions and all of that. These are things that the government of this nation is supposed to give a push. All right, why did I say they're supposed to give it a push? We're just talking about, when we started, we're talking about how an e-library has been established by the federal government in Kano State, employing teachers and all of that. And we talked about something very important. What will facilitate the efficiency of this e-library? Has it been put in place? The same thing is applicable to the economy. When you make a policy, all right, you check the short-term and long-term impact of that policy before you go into implementation. And when you are implementing with this consciousness about whether or not that policy would be implemented or will be result-driven in a short time or in a long time, you have how you can actually put your activities together. You know what to do, who is supposed to function in the policy, who is supposed to do this, who is supposed to do that, because you have all of that outlined before you got started, before the policy even came into existence. But some persons will tell you categorically that when it comes to economic development, the growth of the economy, some politicians don't even care, because it is all about self. It's not everyone that have access to the money, all right, because they call it national cake, which is a wrong initiative, because anyone going into public office now have that mentality. It's my time to get a share of the national cake. And that's one of the things, all right, that has increased corruption in this country. Because when you talk about corruption, it is not just with the politicians alone. Get to the civil service and do an assessment. You know what corruption is, because their own corruption is even more deepened than that of politicians, according to what people have said. I had a lawyer on my program one time, and he was telling me of what happened when a PAMSEC comes into an office. All right, if you're new in an office, they will show you how to make money. All right, through corruption, which is not the best. So when it comes to the growth of the economy of every nation, so many things, apparatus needs to be put in place, all right, beginning from the policy, beginning from checking the policy to see how effective this policy is going to be, whether it's going to be result-oriented in a short time or it's going to be a long-term policy that will be implemented and begin to yield results. Because no matter how juicy a policy is, even though one of our guests told us yesterday that there is no bad or good policy, every policy depends on the implementation process and the outcome of that policy. All right, but then every policy that you're putting forth, you should be able to let the people know that this is what we want to achieve, all right?
And how beneficial it is
and how beneficial it's going to be to the average Nigerian.
Yes.
And you know, Nigerians are, I don't know, but then there is a deception somewhere.
Where?
And I'm telling you now, I want to tell you, you know, when these people come up with policies, from the beginning of the policy, they make it very juicy. All right, we're going to give you CNG buses. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Then initially, they will tell you they will provide palliative, as the case may be. I'm taking the subsidy removal. I'm using it as a case study now. And some people say, oh, we saw buses, but these buses are, you know, a lot of people call it different names. Some persons will tell you, we are seeing some of the buses on the road. But are the buses enough to cushion the effect of this subsidy that was being removed? When was the last time the policymakers sat down to do an assessment, all right, of this policy? Where are we right now? All right, where are we going to be in the next 3-4 years? I know when the campaign gets started, I think I'm still going to reel out. I think the campaign, I'm going to reel out when the campaign will actually get started as we proceed in this conversation, because very soon the campaign will get started. And okay, this is the campaign now. For the campaign, it's going to get started. I know when this campaign starts, we're going to hear so many things again. All right, but the implementation of these things is one other thing. Take for instance, official campaign schedule. Presidential and National Assembly election campaign begins on Tuesday, 19th August 2026, and of course, our campaign ends 15th January 2027. So the campaign is going to get started for the Presidential and National Assembly this period. That's exactly 24 hours before the election schedule for 16th of January. So we're going to hear a whole lot again. Then governorship and State House of Assembly election. The campaign is going to get started on Wednesday, 9th September 2026, and the campaign is going to end Friday, 5th February 2027, and that's going to be exactly 24 hours before the main election kick start, before it gets started. During campaigns, so many things happen, and believe me that some people are they are ready. They are going to come out to tell Nigerians so many things about where the economy was when they took over, where the economy is right now, inflation rate, where our GDP was, where it is right now, and all of that. But with all of this, what has it translated to for the average Nigerian? These are some of the things we should be thinking about. It is not all about making policy, but the impact of that policy, if it is even being implemented in the first place. Because we hear of so many policies being rolled out, but the implementation, who is monitoring the implementation of these policies? Because these are the things that will lead to economic development, growth, and of course national development, which is paramount for every Nigerian.
These are issues that we have to put on the table, like you said. But our guest said something very vital yesterday. He said that these policies should be like in a gadget or a pamphlet where it could be easily read and understood by Nigerians. And it's very important that they are put into various languages where people will understand that these policies are there for the beneficial of you and I. It is here to help you proceed. It is here to help you have a better standard of living. It's very important. And making all of these policies, I think most people do not understand how wide or how big these policies are, or these reforms for the betterment of our country, Nigeria. A lot needs to be done in that aspect. communication is very important, creating that awareness is very important, and breaking it down in the simplest form of understanding also is very important. So a lot needs to be done. For as much as reforms are good, they are here to stay, they will make a difference, but at the same time, it needs to be understood and know that everyone is entitled to it. And that's why I mentioned affirmative procurement. Affirmative procurement, I said it has a lot to do when it comes to the elderly are involved, the veterans, those that were in service before are involved, can come under this umbrella. People with disability can come under this umbrella. Women-owned businesses, women-led business. Of course, you know how it is with women. They say where there is what a man can do, a woman can do it better. I'm not saying in that context, but there are some women out there who you can actually come together to bid for contracts. It's not just the men, it's not just organizations. You as an individual, as long as you have the right certification, right understanding of what bidding is all about, it's not left for just the government on its own. You as a Nigerian has that right, as long as you have the proper documentation and you can come together and actually bid for a contract and win the contract. And it's not all about the high-end ones. You can actually do things as low as when there's a construction going on. As long as you have the right certification and the right documentation, you can. Do you need too much money when it comes to supplying of water in a site, or when it comes to the supplying the sand in a site? And that is why affirmative procurement is there, to just give that standard that it involves everyone, and you can take it to the next level once you put your mind to it and you understand what this process is all about. Reforms are fantastic. They are here to stay, and they're here to better our lives as Nigerians and, of course, as Nigeria.
Yeah, talking of procurement, the BPE now, a lot of people have lot of perception, just like our guest said yesterday. And I think you were the one that asked the question.
Yes.
The issue of you need to know someone, you can't take that away.
Yes.
It happens almost in every
sector.
Now, you're talking about this now. A lot of Nigerians are not aware. That's one of the problems with government and agencies. Sometimes you see a vacancy published in a newspaper. Some Nigerians will even tell you categorically, they've carried the people they wanted already. They are just trying to fulfill all righteousness by bringing it in the paper. We're talking about it sometimes back now yesterday, that there is need for people for more orientation. The communication, the channels of communication, very important. If Bureau of Public Procurement is putting up an offer, there's an opening, right? There is a contract. Sometimes these contracts even happen without you knowing. The people who are to whom these things are being contracted already have people they've been working with, and you see somebody will tell you, well, this person will take this person. They will even contact those people and tell them to, all right, apply. The average Nigerian somewhere else, all right, that is not close to the corridor of that establishment, that agency, may not even know what is happening. So these are some of the challenges, and that's the reason why it's important, all right, for people to be there to checkmate how these things happen, all right?
Yes.
Because as it is right now, for every appointment that's been given, every contract that's been given, there's a way it's supposed to be done. People from this region, this is the number of people we needed. People from this region, people from this region. But hardly you see things like that happen, except if you have somebody there. And all of these things contribute to non-development of the nation, and of course, the economy cannot grow, all right, when the right thing is not being done by the authorities.
No, the truth of the matter is that, I mentioned affirmative procurement because it's a policy that concerns these targeted groups, underrepresented groups, and that is why it is There is a process for everything, and that is why there's an M&E, Monitoring and Evaluation Committee, set up to actually monitor this, so that there won't be any, let me use in the Pigeon Palace, no woo or baku that you're looking at. So if you cannot be related to someone on that particular committee or individuals directing it, and you think that the contract will be easily given, no, it's going to be investigated. You have to have all the right documents. You cannot have all the right documents and you will not be eligible to actually bid for a contract. It's not possible. This is a different thing entirely. We see all of these things, but at the long run, these things are going to be, there's going to be check and balances, checkmate. It's a process which one must follow. You just have the right documentation, and anyone can actually bid once you fall under this underrepresented groups, and it goes a long way, basically.
Okay, when you say underrepresented groups,
are the underrepresented? That's what I'm telling you. Underrepresented groups in our society, we have women-owned businesses, women-led businesses, which are not put in the front line, and we have veterans, individuals who have retired from service for a very long time, who are pensionable, can actually come together to bid for a contract. People with disabilities, we know what that is all about. They feel they are not carried, yes, PWDs, they are not carried along when it comes to these processes. They have the right eligibility to actually bid for a contract. You can get government contracts, and of course, it's very important that we understand all the elderly who are in our society. So all of these things, those are the veterans, and they actually matter. And they are the ones that feel that they are not being represented enough. They do not come out to talk about these issues. And that is why affirmative procurement has come to give you that lacuna, that space for you to understand that, hey, this particular policy that is here is going to actually be favorable to you once you have the right documentation. And especially when you two or more people can come together, you can have like a collaborative source of bidding for a contract for you to get it. It's an open book.
Okay, an individual can collaborate.
Yes, two individuals who have the right documentation. Resources, for instance, I have this amount of money and you have this. We can come together to partner to bid for a contract, and at the end of the day, whatever comes, you split within yourselves. So,
okay, capital is involved. All right.
When it comes to, yes, because you will definitely bring your product. Your product will be assessed. If, for instance, they tell you this is the product that we want, it must have this, and your product has this, and this, and maybe my product doesn't have, we can collaborate together to ensure that that is the product that we are supposed to supply. That's a contract when you are bidding for a particular contract, or this and that is all it takes, basically.
All right.
So it's favorable.
You've been talking about documentation.
Yes.
What are the documents required?
You must have all the proper documentation, and then
what are the documents?
When the BPP comes up and tell you must have, for instance, I'm just saying.
Because I'm asking this,
you must, maybe you have your TAT, your CAC, all of these important documentations that you must have. If you have a women-owned business, you have a company, and all that it entails in the company, you must have it, all your proper documents, to ensure that you are properly documented.
Your CAC,
all of those, yes, is very important. Very important.
And what else?
A lot. When it comes to, when I say proper documentation, everything that has to with your company, very important. Your CAC, you have to have your school more. All of these things are very important when it comes to proper documentation of a company or whatever you have.
Okay, all of this is being assessed.
Exactly.
Before you can bid for a contract.
Very importantly, you must have the right criteria. They will tell you these are the criteria. Whatever the BPP will tell you, give you a criteria, and if you have all of these right documentation.
Is the criteria available on the internet for people to check?
Well, when it's time for all of that, you will get, and that's this part of the public knowledge we're talking about. There's something like underrepresented groups can actually bid for contracts in government. Very important.
Oh, all right. Well, that is an enlightenment from there to just enable you, all right, as a Nigerian, know that you also can contribute to the economic growth of this nation.
Yes, you can.
Because number one, if you bid for a contract and the contract is being given, you are going to make money. You are going to make relationships that could lead to more contracts. And of course,
national development.
I don't know why I'm being forced to say this. Please, if you get a contract, do the right thing. All right, you need to prove yourself beyond. My pastor used to say something: under promise and over deliver. You know, it makes way for so many things. If you want to contribute to national development, you also need to do things that are standard, not substandard, contracts, no substandard products, because all of us need to be part of the system. All right, let's take a quick break. After this break, the conversation continues.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Usoro.
On global television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust our multi-platform news broadcast real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
It's good to have you right there. The conversation continues, but then we need to move a little bit to what is happening in South Africa. There's been move, you know. In Abuja, where we call, of course, places that people are not really available. Okay, this is a situation, and of course, we need to talk about that. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have reacted, but this reaction, you can't take it away anytime, any day, because so much is actually happening. And then, the House of Representatives now, all right, we even carried this story yesterday. Probably we'll have a clip to play for you as we proceed. The House of Representatives has resolved to actually investigate the extent to which the South Africa government, of course, may have contributed, all right, to or been complicit in this whole incident. Like some person said, well, this looks like there is a political undertone.
Of course.
But then, I've not seen Ramaphosa actually talk seriously about this situation. But then, we'll look at all of that for you as the conversation continues. It is not wrong that the House of Rep is saying, come, what is happening? What is really happening? The government, all right, may contribute to or be complicit in this whole drama. I call it a drama. Xenophobic attack. This is not the first time it's happening in South Africa.
Of course.
And this thing keep having tolls on Nigerians.
Yes, it does, and it's just unfortunate that. For me, I would say, I know the investigations are ongoing and all of that, but I would say for a fact that South African authorities or South African government just folded their arms and watched all of this take place. Because the truth of the matter is that if they wanted to stop these xenophobic attacks on foreigners, that's Nigerians, basically, they could have. It's just a matter of getting their military or police to guard around. When you see that safeguard of foreigners who are Nigerians, but they just let everything be. They allow these South Africans to do whatever they wanted to do, burn shops, deprive people of their means of livelihood. Even when they were legal migrants and illegal migrants living in South Africa, made everything as a show of shame. And it's just unfortunate that this is where we are. So if they say there's a political undertone, I completely agree, because the president, Ramaphosa, didn't come out to say anything tangible or meaningful that would give one succor to say, okay, fine, South Africans are not part and parcel of this particular issue that is happening in South Africa. But it looked like they wanted Nigerians to leave the country and leave their source of revenue for them. So it's just unfortunate that this is where it is. But I hope the needful is done, the right investigations are done, and the resolution to follow the adoption in the House of Assembly. Of course, Anita had that report. I think we should, for some of the footage that is ongoing, Anita was there, and we should listen to the report again and see how this plays out so we can talk more about it. Let's listen to that report again.
Representatives resumed legislative activities. After its open week, lawmakers directed the Committee on Diaspora and Foreign Affairs to document abandoned properties and recommend diplomatic measures to better protect Nigerians living in South Africa. The sponsor of the motion, Representative Babajimi Benson, said the investigation will establish the cumulative human and economic impact of the attacks on Nigerians over the years, with a view to ensuring accountability for perpetrators and strengthening the protection of Nigerians in South Africa.
Worried that every successive wave of xenophobic violence has been followed by public condemnation and diplomatic protests, without a corresponding institutional effort to comprehensively document the losses suffered by Nigerians.
Lawmakers also adopted a motion by Billy Osaworu calling for stronger nationwide food safety measures to address the rising cases of foodborne diseases.
The House is concerned that despite the federal government's commitment to curb the issue of foodborne disease, Nigeria still accounts for a high number of approximately 50 million foodborne diseases and more than 53,000 deaths caused by unsafe food yearly.
The House further urged the federal government to release ecological fund resources to address shoreline erosion threatening the Esakon.
Well, I don't know, but then this has been a repeated attack on Nigerians. I don't know why this is happening in South Africa. But then it's not just Nigerians alone that we are affected. But the question is, why is the government silent over the whole situation? Would the National Assembly be able to move this motion to a possible result-oriented conclusion? Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed to see how that will go, because the adoption is of a motion sponsored by Bajimi, of course, Benson, and of course, we will also monitor the situation to bring you the details much later. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll look at, we've been talking about result. I just reel out when the campaign will get started. But what is the assessment of governance, beginning from the chancellor to the presidency? We'll do an assessment of that for you this morning in the next conversation. Stay with us.
Our language, our vibrant culture and colorful tradition, our industrious and hospitable people. This is Nigeria, a nation that prides itself in abundant human and natural resources. From east to west, north to south, we sparkle, we shine, we have a common bond. Fellow Nigerians, let's do away with ethnic, religious and regional sentiments that divide us as a people. God has blessed us and empowered us to find strength in diversity. Let's make our faith and way of worship our source of unity as we build our nation that stays united. Nigeria, together today, together always. This is a public announcement brought to you by Global Television.
Imagine having the power of television, movies, news, and entertainment right in your pocket. Welcome to Free TV App, Nigeria's all-in-one digital TV experience. With Free TV App, you get access to over 100 live TV channels, breaking news, sports, movies, kids shows, and more. All from a single mobile app. No decoder stress, no complicated setup, just download, open, and start watching. Free TV is television reimagined for the digital age. To get started, simply search Free TV on the Google Play Store or Free TV NG on the Apple App Store, or scan the QR code on your screen. Once installed, register in seconds using your phone number, email, WhatsApp, Google ID, or Apple ID. Secure OTP verification ensures safe and seamless access. Inside the app, explore content directly from the home screen or navigate easily using the various tabs. The Live TV section gives you access to over 100 licensed channels, complete with an electronic program guide, EPG, pause, rewind, and catch-up features. The Video On Demand library offers up to 500 hours of curated content, including Nollywood movies, drama series, documentaries, kids and educational programs. You can resume playback, save favorites, and download content to watch offline. The News tab delivers real-time updates across breaking news, sports, entertainment, technology, and pop culture, all in one place. Free TV is more than an app. It's a digital revolution in broadcasting. Download the Free TV app today.
Tired of the snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has gone digital. Introducing Free TV, the national platform for every Nigerian. Get 100 plus channels immediately. Sports, news, and entertainment in your native language. All with clear picture quality. Whether you're in the city or the village, our satellite signal reaches every corner of 36 states from day one. No monthly subscription, just a compatible decoder and you are set. It's a national asset built for you. Take the show on the road, download the Free TV app and stream your favorite channels anywhere. Starting this May, scan to download the app or call 0700 388 7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
Thank you, everyone. Now it's time for us to get into the first conversation, the second conversation on Global Morning today. I want to look at governance beyond politics, as a matter of fact, and I want to do a measurement. I don't know, we might be using anything at all that could measure government's performance through results. No matter what you tell Nigerians you're doing, and the result is not evident, you ain't done nothing yet. So I will look at governance beyond politics. Like I said, it's about time, almost time. I just reeled it out when the presidential and senatorial campaign will get started and down to the grassroots. So we're going to be hearing so many things. A lot of people are going to be coming up to tell us what they've done. But then, how is the impact of whatever they claim they've done is being felt by Nigerians? Joining us on the conversation this morning is Ina Okobi, who is the former Secretary General of the African Action Congress and the flag bearer for the House of Rep, Otukpo Ohimini Federal Constituency. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning, Ina.
Always a pleasure, Ramsey.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into the conversation now. When we talk about governance beyond politics, what comes to your mind?
Governance beyond politics takes you from the arena of campaigns into delivering the dividends of democracy to the people who elected you. That is where it begins. And anybody elected to office must find a point, define a point where politics ends. And then you begin to deliver the dividends of democracy to the constituents you represent, the people who voted you. That's very key. And for people who do not understand this boundary, they take politics from where they left it during campaigns and bring it into an arena where they're supposed to be delivering the dividends of democracy to their constituents. And it is commonplace in Nigeria right now, where it seems to me like the people who were elected seem not to know the difference between when politics ended and when governance was supposed to really begin. Yes.
All right, that's good. A lot of people have said this administration especially, I don't know how true it is, I'm not a politician, but they said for this administration, they started campaign, and they started politicking right from when they got into office, preparing for 2027. Some people will tell you we have a lot of support groups, you'll see some billboards and all of that, but then not delivering on the dividends of democracy, like you mentioned. What's your perspective to that saying?
Absolutely correct. I mean, it wasn't long after this current administration came into power before they began that obnoxious or your mandate which has stand song, where people elected to represent their constituent lost it immediately and began to think that they are an appendage of the executive, and to the point where at some point there was an event even hosted by the judiciary, I think, and that same song was all over. And so people who do not feel like you elected them cannot get to a point where they feel like you deserve anything. They are there, they just feel like, man, some of them bought their way to that position. And so when they begin to behave as if you sent them there as a constituent to enjoy on your behalf, then it becomes a problem. And so they forget why they're there in the first place, which is to ensure that you democratize the wealth of this country to everybody who lives in this country and begin to appropriate it to themselves. And so they don't care, which is what we have today. They don't know what they are doing there. And that is why we're the way we are. That's why security has broken down. Nobody can tell you. Yes, I will give it to you. If you look at the macroeconomic level, they tried. But then it also needs to go down to the people. And when you don't do certain things properly, take care of things like security, how then do you expect to talk about the dividends of democracy? Of course, they will come and mouth it that the country is better. But in their heart, they know it's a lie. So democracy really needs to function in a way that the people at the grassroots begin to feel the impact of it. Otherwise, then it shouldn't be. It will make it look like it was a mistake in the first place. But in other places where people understand why they are voted into office, they live by the people. They do right by the people, not right by some man up there, which is what it's looking like in this country right now. And so I think there's a lot to be done. There's a lot of correction, and that is why every new election is what you call it is a test of what you spent the last 4 years doing. And so 2027 is another time for us to assess them again and say, okay, you didn't do well. You shouldn't go back. Our democracy must get to that point where these people in office realize that the people are the master. And they keep changing until it gets to a point where people recognize that the leaders are actually the people at the grassroots.
You know what, Ina, you've spoken a lot about grassroots, individuals who should be there. In your own perspective, how should government performance be measured beyond campaign promises and beyond political rhetorics?
Beyond mathematical metrics. You judge if a government is doing well by how well the people at the grassroots are faring. Are you able to do your trade freely? Can you go to the farm and return back in one piece? Can you sleep at night even in your village and wake up the next morning intact and not being roused by a group? No. Until you get to a point where the people at the grassroots can now by themselves, uninduced, tell you like, look, I'm living in the village and my life is better than it was the year before. You have failed. If you cannot get to that point where these people will say it by themselves, uninduced, not for the cameras, You go to their houses, they have 3 square meals, their children are able to go to school. Then you have not tried. That is the only way you can measure it, by how the people assess you, not how you assess yourself. And which is what we have today. You come on TV, the ministers will come and reel out what they have done, what they haven't done. They will not say. But then let us go back to the people. So which is why 2027, every new election is a referendum on your term in the previous arrangement. So that's how you tell. If you get voted into office again or returned in a new election, it tells that you were doing well. Otherwise, you didn't do well.
But you talk about people buying their way into offices. Are you sure everyone that is there? Because I don't want to go back to the drama in the primaries where some persons were lamenting, some were even crying. They promised me I was going to return, because you talked about on your mandate we shall stand. And a lot of people were relaxed on that very, mindset that they were going to return. So some persons were not even performing. And during the primaries, some couldn't find their way back. All right, some names were not uploaded as we speak, and there is some form of maybe suspicion that there could be implosion in some political practice come 2027. So now, does it mean you need to have money to win elections in Nigeria, or it is possible for the people to elect you? I'm talking about free and fair election. That's it.
Beautiful. You talked about why the primaries that just got concluded ended the way they did, especially with the ruling party. Both of us are familiar with the story that I told you about. The APC especially, when they were having their primaries. There were places where this particular person they were waiting on the field for primaries to happen, and they just called them and say they have finished the primaries. And according to the person, they didn't see any ballot paper. And someone who was singing on your mandate was returned without the people's input. I mean, that is the situation. It is like, scratch my back, I scratch your back. The reason they didn't think that people deserved to be taken care of was because they probably felt that, look, we have hailed the master. It is the turn of the master to return the favor. In some places, because the master knows that he owes you nothing, he helped you to buy your way into the place and can decide by a wink of the eye who goes and who returns. So what would ensure that we do not have this kind of situation going forward is a balanced INEC. An INEC that has no influence from anywhere. Where people brought into INEC know that every election is supposed to be an avenue for them to showcase how well they have improved. At the rate we are going, if we don't change certain things, INEC national might end up like the State Electoral Commission. I mean, we began to see it from the primaries.
So you mean we don't have a balanced INEC as at now?
We do not have a balanced INEC.
Even with Amopitan?
Who did you call him?
Joash Amopitan.
You know the controversies that greeted his arrival at INEC. Has that changed? Has he shown anything to us that will make it look like he's going to be free and fair?
You mean you've not seen transparency, credibility, and accountability?
I have not. As a party man, I have not. There were so many things that happened when he showed up that we wish had done better. But then they keep telling us that it will be better as we go along. We will hold our breath and hope that it translates into proper change at INEC. We need to have an election where the decision does not go to the courts. Because the way it is right now, all elections seems to be determined by the courts. How then is it a democracy? Yes, it is a democracy, but if the process bringing people forth is free and fair, and you defeat somebody convincingly and it shows that, look, I defeated you, so what? Why are you going to court?
It cannot be selection. It has to be free and fair. People go to the booth, vote. It has to reflect. Results should not be written. And so the burden is on INEC to show that it is free and fair in the next election. We're looking forward to that. To a point where they do it, nobody goes to court. They defeat you, you know that you, in your heart, that you were defeated.
Is that possible in Nigeria? Because there is no
yes,
election.
It's possible.
I will not see people being angry because their candidate never won.
See, Ramsey, elections held in Ghana, correct? John Dramani Mahama was returned. Did you hear them go to court? Even observers who went to observe it said, man, that election was something else.
And Nigeria congratulated too.
We congratulated them. They didn't go to court. Why then is it not possible in Nigeria? I mean, you saw the Electoral Act, the ones the National Assembly gave us. Most people call it the 419 Electoral Act. Just messed up a lot of things for a lot of people. You see protests from even parties saying this Electoral Act has to go. But some people passed it without thorough scrutiny. And that same Electoral Act is what is going to give us the next election. So it leaves a lot to be desired. It can't continue to be like this. We need to get to a point where when you mention INEC, you know that you, on your own, you have to be prepared for the election. And it is possible. Technology is everywhere now, and it can ensure that we get such an election where nobody argues about the results. So like I said, the burden is on INEC. They need to deliver. We can't continue like this.
All right.
We can't.
As it is, you're talking about INEC right now.
Yes.
But remember, apart from Joash Amopiton and his INEC officials,
yes,
there are other players, all right, in electioneering that could determine whether the election will be free and fair.
Okay.
We have the media, we have the security agents, and we have the electorates themselves. So, do you think INEC can do this alone? Because you didn't talk about the security, and you know how Nigerians look at some of our security outfits, all right, based on previous compromise. We just heard that the ICPC chairman was extorted, you know, just a few days ago by his colleagues, you know. So these are some of the things that we should also check alongside assessing INEC. So what's your take?
I agree with you. In terms of agencies that can make this work, we have the EFCC, we have the ICPC. On election day, you will hear that they go to election venue and arrest some people selling vote. And not much is heard about that after the elections. Since these things are criminal activities, once you get anybody, make him a scapegoat. Especially people buying votes at the election venue or activities prior to election that points to the fact that vote buying already started. I mean, you hear people collecting people's PVC. Go there and take care of them. And mostly the people doing it are the ruling party. Let's be honest. Because they feel like, oh man, we have the immunity to this. Nothing is going to happen anyway. So you are right.
That's an accusation, right?
Because all political parties want to win. Or you want to say the highest bidder. Or you want to say the highest bidder.
In the last election, is it Ekiti? Which one just happened now? Ekiti. In fairness, it's not just even the ruling party, even the other party contesting, the ones that followed. I won't mention names. They were also buying votes. I mean, one girl I watched on TV, on social media when the girl came and flashed her money and said this is what she made for the vote.
I saw that.
I have not heard that such a person was called to question. So the security agencies have their own role to play. Now also the judiciary. There's also a part for them to play. Should the election come to the judiciary, the decisions coming out of the judiciary must reflect at least that they did a good job. It wouldn't make any sense for you to know that certain things happen that you witnessed, and then it goes to the court and it decides otherwise. What happens after that is that the person who took the mandate automatically loses confidence, the confidence of the people. In their heart, they know you stole the mandate. So if it comes to the judiciary, we're hoping that the next election does not go to the judiciary, where on the last date, the day the election is happening, before the close of the ballot, you already know when the results are being declared that, look, I have lost. You call the other person and concede.
Like Jonathan did.
Like Jonathan did. But again, there are, from some of the observers, what they said about that call he made, was always, according to them, other things induced it. Not that he actually wanted to do it. But I also think that that decision he made saved us a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm. He said it himself.
People must get to a point where it is not a do or die affair.
Is that possible?
It is possible, my brother. I've said it here. If you partake in an election and you know, observing from your own polling unit how things went, there were no ballot box snatch. People were not hiding to watch what you voted because of the money you collected, and then you go to the booth, you cast your vote, you walk away, results are called, no hanky-panky. If you lose, you know that you have lost. We have to get to a point in this country where elections are declared real time. I mean, you love watching American elections.
Sure.
We're not saying it is perfect, but as the results are coming, you know, and they are telling it, you know that this thing, goes straight for me.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the point in carrying arms and running to the street and trying to cause chaos? Any reasonable person will know that this is an election. Then our people can begin to have confidence. Like I said, INEC, the judiciary, the security agencies must be up and doing. It is not just INEC. I mean, the elections were conducted in this country where even the person who won the election, the late President Yar'Adua, came and said, I know that the election that brought me to office wasn't free and fair, and I'm going to do something to righten it. And he did. Jonathan came, did his best. But what we have here is an electoral act that everybody will drag in it like a pass my neighbor generator, because nobody liked it. A lot of the things, provisions put in it, are the result for some of the chaos you hear in the polity. When you're coming to election, make it free and fair. It can't be that difficult. Don't know already that what you are planning to do is to ostracize people, to push them away, to de-enfranchise people. No. That can't be how it is done. We need to do better. And we have the brains to bring that to pass. You and I know it. Then the media. Elections are coming. See the time you people have given me, right? Mm-hmm. I hope when we get to the electioneering period, I'll get an invite. I hope channels will be, I'm sorry for mentioning names, but other TV stations. I mean, in 2023, at that time, I was the national secretary of our party. We had the TV station cancel on us because of our message. And maybe somebody called them. In 2019, we had somebody, we were on our way to the place, they said, please don't come. Why? Because somebody just called and made a call and said, don't give them any airtime. You cannot call it a free and fair election when certain people are locked out of the media. So the media has its own role to play. And don't project people you know are weak because you were induced. You know a candidate based on their antecedent that they don't have anything to offer, but the media projects them.
That's an indictment.
No, it's not an indictment. It happened in 2023. I was an active player.
Okay, and some people got induced and
then of course
projected
you can tell that certain people, you want us to begin to talk. You want us to start talking so that...
Okay, that's an indictment until otherwise proven. I'll do that after this program.
The media must be free. The media must be open to people. You cannot, like I said earlier, call it a free and fair election where certain people are locked out of the media. You cannot. And in 2023, my sister, we had our candidate. They will not invite us for debate. They cherry pick this person. We frustrated one of them until he never held. And they didn't know somebody from inside was telling us they are going to do it in this place. We'll go there and spoil it. I said, no, if you won't invite our candidate, then just don't do it. Because this guy has a traction. See people following him. I'm talking about my candidate, Umo Elishwara. He didn't get an invite. We go to a radio station, they will call and cancel on us. Like, call and cancel. Say, please, Oga, don't come. That cannot be an election that will be looking up to an election period.
But don't you think there could be reason for those cancellations and, of course, maybe because of certain things?
They don't want certain people to hear the message. You know what Frederick Douglass said?
Are you passing the message?
No, hold on. Sorry there. Frederick Douglass said, a man that has information becomes unfit to be a slave. Yes. When you can get your information out and people are enlightened, they know what to expect. And so when they know certain people have a unfiltered message, they keep you out to people who are politically correct. So we were locked out in 2020, 2018, 2023. They did it severally. Okay, let me also say something here. Concerning the security agencies, people will be traveling across the country, across our villages, around there to do politicking. Do you know the cost of getting the police or the civil defense or all the security people to just escort you and keep you safe? The demands that will follow. No, it shouldn't be like that. They should be available to everybody, even if possible, free of charge. Because that's the responsibility of the security agencies. So beyond ensuring that the elections go free and fair, they should also protect the candidate when required. Because that's their job. One unknown candidate is struggling to get one person to escort him as a security, the other will have a retinue of them. They knock you off the road and say, get out. Who are you? Are you a politician? Do you have the money? We need to get to the point where every hand must be on deck. This is an election for Nigerians. And so every apparatus of state available must be available to every candidate. Otherwise, it is not free and fair. I've said a lot.
Yes, you've said a lot.
But so the balance needs to be arrived at. We need to have a system where everybody knows that the security agency, you cannot say something during the election and then somebody arrests you and lock you up because you talked. My principal is currently being prosecuted because of a comment he made.
Because it's always dragging down this current administration. No. Stick to the process. Stick to the purpose. I think, sorry, let me interject now because you've interjected me before. I think you should stick to why you want to come on board and you want to rule, or don't attack. I think it's a different ballgame when you keep attacking a particular political party or the present administration, and then that's when the media comes in, just to be free and fair. Because I think it's unfair. I'm just saying, maybe that's why you feel as if you were stereotyped or something. But when you stick to the purpose, why you come on air talking about the impact that you can make on Nigerians, how you can transform lives, create jobs, low cost of living, low cost of transport, when you stick to that particular manifesto, of course you will get that audience. But when you stick to the point of tearing down a political party or a rep of that party, then it becomes a problem. Then it's not free and fair anymore.
I understand where you're coming from. When you hold people to account, it is also democracy.
Yes, it is.
Democracy does not say that you just come and tell people what they are doing wrong. How is that tearing people apart?
But you don't insult.
Okay, let us look at the current party in power. We know how they came to power in 2018 or 2019. I mean, it was everywhere. I wouldn't call that tearing apart. Well, see, people who like the status quo do not want their wrongs to be pointed out. How else do you tell the people these people are doing wrong without pointing out their wrongs?
I think that is the most problems of politicians. I think that is the problem. I was speaking to my co-host and I said, If politicians can come here and tell us, Nigerians, especially those in the ground, we do not care when you come out, like you said, when you come out and you talk about numbers and figures, some individuals do not understand that. But when you come on board and you say, I'm not defending any political party, I know who I'm going to vote.
It seems to me like you are.
Oh, well, if you feel so, it's fine. But at the same time, I feel if you are on the opposition and you come on board and you say, for this and this and this that is not working out, I am prepared, this is my impact, this is what I'm going to do to make it better, than coming up and saying this party is bad, the ruling party has this, and sometimes some people are tired. Maybe that is why most Nigerians are actually tired. Because they keep hearing the same cycle on how to tear this person down, how to bring this individual down, how to bring the ruling party down, or bring this other opposition down. He's not fit, he's not capable, he's bringing more. Come on.
Okay, now
Can it be different when, high cost of living? My party, we're ready to bring it down, and these are the inputs in which we will make to make this particular aspect better. When it comes to unemployment, we're willing to. Then people will want to listen. But when we keep going back and forth, because if you look at the track record, we keep going back and forth with this issue. How this party is not doing the right thing, how it's not impacting life, how this particular policy doesn't make sense, how this and that. Come on. We're tired.
Can I come in now?
Yes, you may.
We as a party, and if you want to be honest, and I would request that you also go back and check records. We do not call out without profiling solutions.
Must you?
You have to call out. Otherwise, it will seem like what they are doing is correct. On the issue of security, we have called them out. But we have also proposed the things that can work. In the issue of power, I think we have as a party, the AAC, the most comprehensive approach to solving our power problem. It wasn't our party, for example, whose candidate came up during an interview and they ask you say you will generate 10,000 megawatts or 20,000 megawatts. They ask you how, you say you will not tell. We told you that with an energy mix you are able to achieve it. And proceeded to tear it down again how this is going to happen. So it is not true that we just tear down. We point out your wrongs and also profile solutions. And we have done that always. If you bring me here again, it will not be tearing down. If you say points to electricity, I will download it for you. Practical steps to achieving energy security. If you say agriculture, I will tear it down for you. How to achieve food security. If you say healthcare, how to achieve a stable healthcare. These things are not rocket science. So when we call them out, it's because there's something to call out. It is not me, for example. Like you cannot bring me to a studio and then we're talking about governance. And I heard that the National Assembly, our National Assembly, people who behave as though we sent them there to enjoy on our behalf, can propose a certain billions because they want to rebuild churches and mosques. In a secular state, who does that?
You know, I completely agree, and I say when you bring out all of these with facts, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I'm just saying when you directly or indirectly call out names and say some things that are not really right to the hearer. That's where I have a problem.
What cannot be right? If it is not right, you take it to the
You don't have to call someone a criminal or this or that. You can make your point.
Do you want us to go there?
Let's not
I will call some people criminal.
No. You don't need to. I first say you don't need to.
See,
let's get back to and it will be given an individual.
Everybody can always.
Let's get back to performance. Let's get back to performance. We just have 2 minutes also. Your constituency especially has been under attack. Yeah, our time is up. It has been under consistent attack, you know, and some persons are saying that security in Nigeria has been politicized. I don't know how true that is, because there was a time I hosted the current senator, Senator Abba Moro, and we're talking about security during the Yelwata killing. But then, as it is right now, what do you think about the security situation in your own constituency?
Oh my goodness.
We have just 2 minutes.
Wait 2 minutes, oh my God. Only 2 weeks ago, we came under attack. My constituents. People were murdered. It didn't fall from the sky. there were telltale signs that this was going to happen. And practical steps were not taken. The DSSDG, because we have too many, hosted a security summit last year where he made a brilliant proposition. Communities should become the first line of defense for themselves. Why are we not taking this initiative on? Let them become the first line of defense for their community. Arm them reasonably. Place them under some organization, maybe the police, the civil defense, or the army. And then they become the first line of defense for their community to prevent these activities, this sort of killings from going on. And I think that is the approach. But as for my people, we have suffered. And it didn't just happen in one Utubonobi, it happened in other places. One of the persons killed was my direct cousin in a place called Apache. This guy was butchered. That can't be right. And we cannot keep mounting security. There are two biggest problems in this country are security and power.
All right, hold it there. We'll visit this conversation again.
Please.
We will visit this because I even want to ask you so many questions in your constituents because you are a flag bearer. But we'll do that some other time because you must have seen something wrong that you want to go correct.
Absolutely.
So we will talk about this holistically some other time, not today. Unfortunately, our time is up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
No, we'll talk about all of that with facts and figures when the time comes. Media before you people start indicting us.
Exactly.
So thank you very much, the former General Secretary of the African Action Congress and the flag bearer for Tukpo Ohimini Federal Constituency in the forthcoming election, Ina Okopi. Thanks for joining us, Honorable Ina Okopi. Thank you for.
This is where we have a problem.
It's okay, comrade.
Titles are useless when they are devoid of impact. So.
That's a food for thought.
Appreciate this.
Thank you very much, Ina Okopi, for joining us on the conversation. Everyone, we've come to the end of the conversation and the end of Global Morning today. We also want to let you know that the opinion of our guest is entirely theirs and not that of Global Television. The editorials from the various newspaper houses is entirely that of the media houses and not that of Global Television. Thank you, everyone, for being part of Global Morning today. We'll come on your way again. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo.
And I am Jumai Manson. Thank you all so much for being a part of the program. Thank you, Ina Okopi, once again for being a part of the program. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.